Hi guys, okay, story time again today. So we're carrying on with George's Marvellous Medicine. It's getting really good. I'm really excited. So far we have read Grandma, which was the first chapter when we were introduced to the characters. We've read The Marvellous Plan, which was the second chapter, which was where George decided on the plan he was going to do. Next one we read, which was yesterday, George begins to make the medicine. So that is where, can you remember? That is where he goes around the house and tries to get lots of different things to put in the medicine. Can you remember? Now, Grandma's medicine was brown. What did George put in the medicine to make it brown? Let's have a look and see if we can find it. Is it on this page? I can remember it was the can of shoe polish. I can't find it in here at the moment though. It was the shoe polish so that she wouldn't get suspicious. Here we go. It was a shoe polish so she wouldn't get suspicious because her medicine was brown. So let's see what's going to happen in today's chapter. It's called Animal Pills. So what do you think this chapter is going to be about? Let's have a read. At this point, George suddenly had an extra good idea. Although the medicine cupboard in the house was forbidden ground, what about the medicines his father kept on the shelf in the shed next to the hen house? The animal medicines. What about those? No one had ever told him he mustn't touch them. Let's face it, George said to himself. Hairspray and shaving cream and shoe polish are very well, and they will no doubt cause some splendid explosions inside the old geezer. But what about the magic? But what the magic mixture needs now is a touch of the real stuff. Real pills, real tonics to give it a punch and muscle. George picked up the heavy 3/4 filled saucepan and carried it out to the back door. He crossed the farmyard and headed straight for the shed outside the hen house. He knew his father wouldn't be in there. He was out making hay in one of the meadows. George entered the dusty old shed and put the saucepan on the bench. Then he looked up at the medicine shelf. There were 2 big bottles there. 2 were full of pills. There were 5 bottles up there, sorry. 2 were full of pills and 2 were full of runny stuff, and 1 was full of powder. I'll use them all, George said. Grandma needs them. Boy, does she need them. The first bottle he took down contained an orange-coloured powder. The label said, for chickens with foul pest, hen gripe, sore beaks, gammy legs, and cockeritis. Egg trouble, broodiness, loss of feathers. Mix 1 spoonful with each bucket of feed. Well, George said out loud to himself as he tipped the whole bottle full. The old bird won't be losing any feathers after she's had a dose of this. The next bottle he took down had about 500 gigantic purple pills in it. For horses with horse throats, it said on the label. The horse-throated horse should suck 1 pill twice a day. Grandma may not have a horse throat, George said, but she's certainly got a sharp tongue. Maybe they'll cure her instead. Into the saucepan went 500 gigantic purple pills. Then there was a bottle of thick yellowish liquid for cows, bulls and bullocks, the label said. Will cure cowpox, cow mange, crumpled horns, bad breath in bulls, earache, toothache, headache, hoofache, tailach and sore udders. That grumpy old cow in the living room has every one of those rotten illnesses, George said. She'll need it all. With a slop and a girdle, the yellow liquid splashed in to the nearly full saucepan. The next bottle contained a brilliant red liquid. Sheep dip, it said on the label. For sheep with sheep rot, for getting rid of ticks and fleas. Mix 1 spoonful in 1 gallon of water and slosh it over the sheep. Caution, do not make the mixture any stronger or the wool will fall out and the animal will be naked. By gum, George said, how I'd love to walk in and slosh it all over old Grandma and watch the ticks and the fleas go jumping off her. But I can't. I mustn't. So she'll have to drink it instead. He poured the right red medicine into the saucepan. The last bottle on the shelf was full of pale green pills. Pig pills, the label announced, for pigs with pig prickles, tender trotters, bristle blight and swine sickness. Give 1 pill per day in severe cases. 2 pills may be given, but more than that will make the pig rock and roll. Just the stuff, said George, for that miserable old pig back in the house. She'll need a very big dose. He tipped in all the green pills, hundreds and hundreds of them, into the saucepan. There was an old stick lying on the bench. It had been used for stirring paint. George picked it up and started to stir his marvellous concoction. The mixture was as thick as cream, and he stirred and stirred. Many wonderful colours rose up from the depths and blended together, pinks, blues and greens, yellows and browns. George went on stirring until it went well mixed. But even so, there were still hundreds of pills lying on the bottom that hadn't melted. And there was his mother's splendid powder puff floating on the surface. I shall have to boil it up, George said. 1 quick boil on the stove, that's all it needs. And with that, he staggered back towards the house with the enormous heavy saucepan. On the way, he passed the garage and he went in to see if he could find any other interesting things. He added the following: 1/2 pint of engine oil to keep Grandma's engine going smoothly, some antifreeze to keep her radiator from freezing over in the winter, and a handful of grease to grease her creaky joints. Then back into the kitchen. So now it looks like that he's finished making his marvellous medicine. And the thing I really liked, the description was this bit here, this paragraph. It said the mixture was as thick as cream. He stirred, and many wonderful colours rose up from the depths and blended together, pinks, blues, greens, yellows and browns. And that makes me think about this picture. So here he is in the, well, this I would say is in the kitchen here, this boiling up, but all of the lovely colours in there. So today I want you to see, you can either draw a new picture or you can create some wonderful smokes and colours. See if you can make your mixture, your medicine, really nice and colourful. What different colours would you have in it? This one's got lots of different bright colours in it. Okay, let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. I think it did say he was going back to the kitchen to cook up the mixture. I wonder if he'll be able to fool Grandma. See you today. Have a nice evening. Bye.